Now that we've looked at some practical ways that logarithms are used, we're going to look at more at how we use them in math, like how we deal with them algebraically, solve them, and things like that. The first thing I want to talk about is how we convert an equation from a logarithm to an exponential. Because they are related to each other. That's why we're studying them together. They're actually inverses of each other, which we'll talk more about soon. But I want to just mainly explain how to convert from a logarithm to an exponential. Okay, and the key is log BAP. B-A-P, log BAP. And that's because when you're converting, if you can remember log BAP, it becomes pretty simple. B stands for base, A stands for answer, and P for power. So when you're converting this to an exponential, you start with your base, and then you give it its power, and then it equals the answer. Base, answer, power becomes base raised to a power equals the answer. So for example, let's say we have 2 equals log base 5 of x. Or let me reverse that so we write it the same way we did. Log base 5 of x equals 2. Okay, so if you look at the pieces we defined, this would be our base, this would be our answer, this would be our power. So when we rewrite it, we put 5 as our base, we put 2 as our power, and we put x as our answer. One thing you're going to see later in this lesson is this is a really nice way to help us solve some logs that are hard to do otherwise. We're not very accustomed to logs. I mean, even me, looking at this, I don't really have any idea what to do to solve that unless I switch it and change it to be an exponential, like we see here. 5 squared, I know how to do that. Log base 5 of x equals 2, not as much. That isn't as clear to me. So let's practice a few more. Let's do 3 equals log base b of 64. Again, you need to label your base, your answer, and your power. Log BAP. I know they put the power over on the left side, but it's the same thing. Whatever's on the other side of the equal sign is your power. So we do our base as b, our power as 3, and our answer is 64. So let's do one more example together. Then we're going to look at going the opposite direction. So let's say log base 3 of 7 equals y. Again, the 3 is your base, 7 is your answer, y is your power. So when I rewrite this as an exponential, I get 3 raised to the y equals 7. Okay, now let's look at the opposite direction. We just did converting from a logarithm to an exponential. Now let's convert from an exponential to a logarithm. Again, the key is to remember log BAP. So if you have base raised to a power equals answer, then you just rewrite it as log BAP. For example, let's say we have 12 squared equals x. 12 is my base, there's my power, there's my answer. So when I write it, I do log base 12 of x equals 2. Log base 12 of x equals 2. And notice how I'm reading this right here. This is log base 12 of x equals 2. So log base whatever of whatever's in there. So that's how we do it. Just change it to BAP, base, answer, power. Let's say we have b cubed equals 8. Our base is b. answer is 8. Our power is 3. So again, log BAP. That's the key. BAP, log BAP. One more, e to the y equals 9. Log base e of 9, that's our answer, equals our power y. Log BAP, base, then answer, then power.